first.
That's
So
right on time.
we'll call the study session to order. Any announcements, Jeff? before
I
we
do.
get started?
Todd tonight is with the Senior Olympics, so I want to announce that the Senior Olympics open this week. Riverview residents are participating in that, and tonight he is handling the pickleball. And tomorrow morning, if anyone wants to see it, Riverview's hosting bocce ball here at City Hall, behind City Hall. So that'll start at 8:30. He also wanted me to remind everybody that Wednesday's concerts will be Sonic Freeway. They play multi-decades of music, and that'll be at 6:30 on Wednesday. And also, Movie in the Park is August 24th, and that's at Young Patriots Park in Migration. And I think that that's all I have for Todd. Now, the clerk, Shane Harrison, would like to announce something, I believe. I'll announce it for her. Shred Day. Shred Day will be September 13th. And it'll be here at City Hall, which is a change from the landfill.
At City Hall.
It's at City Hall out front,
What's that date on?
September 13th. And I believe that starts at what time, Shane?
It's noon to 2.
Noon to 2.
Sorry, I had to jog my memory.
Okay, no? Okay. And then the last question that I have, and I just wanted to, let council think about it. Our first scheduled meeting for September is September 2nd, which is Labor Day. We historically move them to Tuesday, but if anyone's going to be gone or out of town on that Tuesday, let me know. Okay? You don't have to let me know tonight, you just need to let me know to make sure we'd have enough for a quorum on Tuesday, September 3rd. Okay?
Okay.
And that's all the
Well,
announcements.
on the concerts in the park,
Yes.
the last one will be canceled on September 4th. There was Shakedown.
Yeah.
That'll be canceled because one of their members of the band had hip surgery or whatever and not recovering very well. So that'll be canceled. My favorite one. But anyway, is that it?
That's all I have, sir.
And I do have one. We did lose another longtime resident, Dan Bowen. Him and his wife Denise have been regular concert goers to the concerts in the park. They always get there real early, and Denise is one that's always dancing around. Dan passed away yesterday morning. He will be at Voran Funeral Home on Goddard Road in Taylor on Wednesday from 2 to 6. If anybody is interested, we just want to wish them the best. So with that, first item up, discuss the local governing body resolution for charitable gaming licenses that the Riverview Junior Football Association wants to obtain. And I believe, are you Emily?
Yep, I'm
You wanna
Emily.
come on up if you don't mind. Have a seat. I'll just read the background while she's taking a seat. The Riverview Junior Football Association is working to obtain a charitable gaming license with the state of Michigan. One of the requirements is to obtain a resolution passed by the local body of government stating that the organization is recognized as a nonprofit organization in the community. The RJFA wishes to bring this to a regular council meeting for council's approval. So Emily, if you can just give a little background of what this is all about.
So we have been a program for, I think this is our 67th year. We usually have children between 7 up until 13 for football as well as cheerleading. We are a 501c3, and that's all I can think of.
Yeah.
So any questions or?
So I guess, as far as the charitable gaming, what is all this going to involve? What type of fundraisers and what events?
It would be mostly like our usual 50-50 raffles we do during the games. Our banquet at the end of the year is raffle. So we didn't realize it, but we do need a license to be able to hold those games. So we're just trying to get everything set up, get our license taken care of, and make sure we're doing everything how we're supposed to.
So it is easier to ask permission than forgiveness, correct? Is that right? Okay.
I'd rather not know.
Okay, all right, well, thank you. And is there any other discussion council wants to have? And we've got it attached in the background, what the, I don't want to call this a resolution, but maybe it is it's a bizarre form of one, but basically it's just saying that we voted on it at a council meeting, and if it's approved, then they were able to get the license. So any questions by council, comments?
No, I've had, obviously my son played for the RJFA. I volunteered quite a bit for the RJFA at the time, and I'll say this, a lot of the kids in Riverview love the program. I'm biased because the RJFA, obviously when Owen went through his injury, even though he had stopped playing the year before, RJFA was coming up to the hospital for us and, bringing us food and checking on Owen at all times, so I'm an absolute yes. It's a great community program, so.
Does this extend to like euchre nights, if you all decided you wanted to do something like
Yep.
that? It's any type of like
Pretty much any
fundraising?
sort of raffle, gaming.
I think we should do
Games of
euchre night.
chance.
Yeah, that's,
In a
that's what
poker
you're asking,
night.
that's exactly what I was thinking it was
Yeah,
for.
we'll have it filled.
Uh-huh.
I always bring that up.
Listen,
Yeah.
euchre's a horrible game,
Yeah.
don't do it.
Well, you know, do poker too.
Councilman
we're in
Workman.
poker.
Councilman Workman.
To Randy. Randy, didn't we do this for Gabriel Richard?
We did it for somebody,
I
yeah.
think it was Gabriel Richard.
Yeah.
Same thing.
This is
We've done it
good.
before.
Yep.
It's pretty standard then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
standard.
So do I have consensus that we put this on the next council meeting?
I have one
Yeah.
last question. But yes.
Okay.
It's a yes, but does this cover all of the high school events or just football?
This just covers the RJFA, so it's just our little football.
Okay, thank you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
You'll be on the agenda next week.
Thanks.
Okay, Jeff, updates.
All right, let's start with Jennifer Boyer. She's here tonight, and so we'll give her a chance to give her some updates on RLP.
Ready to go. There's actually not much to report this month. We do have third quarter sampling scheduled for next week, so our samplers will be on site taking groundwater and surface water samples. We also have one monitoring well that has to be repaired. There's a pitch in the pipe, and so I think some of the landfill guys are gonna dig down around it for us, and we can get that straightened out so that we're able to sample that properly, so that's all I got.
Thank you, Jennifer.
All right, Mr. Dave Skirdo.
Thank you,
Oh, there
Jim.
it is.
Good evening, everybody. The items we have here is the New Wayne County Business Development Manager is going to schedule some retention visits to our local business to see how they could help them, and we've been providing contact lists to them. Two is the cannabis business at Burger King. They have not moved since February 1st. We gave them a deadline of getting on the planning commission of September 5th. Or else we would rescind their license, and there's a gentleman next door waiting to move.
So if they don't pursue this, there's another one in the queue?
Another one.
An adjacent
wants to finish
property?
up the lot split.
Okay, all right.
So we come in front of you then. Third, Areas Health came in front of the Planning Commission for their expansion on July 2nd. They were sent away to provide more information before the commission will make a decision. They haven't come back yet. Fourth, a small industrial building on Longsdorf near Electric Avenue got approved for a small expansion. And fifth is there's a gentleman that needs room for equipment storage, and we're helping him try to find a business. He started looking at P&A conveyor, he's having some trouble with negotiations, so now we're in, over on Kraus, helping him.
Okay. Thank you, Dave.
All right, Mr. Sohail, CE Rains.
Good evening, everyone. We'll start with the street sectioning for 2024. That program will be kicking off this week by Kennebec Junior High. After that, we will be concluding the sewer lining, phase 2, and we're preparing for phase 3 for next year. And after that, we have the Clark Street water main that needs to be approved for design and bidding. That will be coming in front of you, hopefully 2 meetings from now. We're working with Wayne County on the Freeland Park Pavilion Pickleball Court. We have a meeting coming up with them. That job's going to be going out for bids by Wayne County for it to be implemented. So we're hoping that we can get it done this year. If not, we have 18 months to finish it.
Now, I saw in my subdivision, obviously they're marking the streets for the sectioning. When will that actually take place, do you know?
Well, we're focusing first on the areas where the schools, before schools open. When we finish with that, we'll move on.
Okay, all right.
Sequentially everywhere else. That's it.
Thank you, Sal.
Thank you.
Okay, I think that's all we had. It's a very light study session agenda. I guess, Mayor, it's...
Any other business council wants to bring up?
I actually have a few things.
Go ahead.
All right, so we'll start with the marijuana ordinance. Now that the ordinance has been in place for over a year and a half, we have several businesses that have successfully opened. They demonstrate they want to be good residents and good neighbors of the city. So I'd like to take a look at making a minor amendment to the hours of operation. Currently, the ordinance doesn't allow them to open until 10 a.m. Yet liquor stores are opened at 9. I think we should amend the ordinance to allow them to open at 9 a.m. I'd like the city attorney to bring forward an amendment on our ordinance to permit that. Obviously, I understand we can't make motions at study sessions, so I want to make sure there's a consensus to bring this forward to the next city council meeting. In addition, looking at the ordinance, if there are any other revisions that the manager or city attorney recommend based on our experience thus far, we should include those as well. For example, I've been told that we may want to expand the definition of the school to be clear that it does include daycare centers and nursery schools. If Dave, Randy, or Jeff have any other suggestions that would improve the ordinance, I think those should be added to the amendment that I'm proposing.
It's just like, I get it changed the definition. Now it just says schools, you want to include daycare
And
centers.
nurseries, yes.
Isn't that a
Okay,
state
right.
thing already?
I
I'm
thought
not
so,
sure.
but
That
we'll
it already
check it out.
has to be a...
I understand from Dave that there was a controversy before, and I'll get with him to clear up the language. We just want to be
Yeah.
absolutely clear that
I
it
feel like that was the
encompasses all of
discussion.
it.
Was that it already stated.
We'll double check that.
And that's why it was.
Okay. So if anybody wants to discuss that, we can. Otherwise, I have one other thing.
Go ahead.
So, the Arkema letter. Obviously, we all took a look at Scott Ireland's and the EPA's refusal to test the surrounding area. August 15th, Debbie Dingle is hosting a meet and greet for residents of all areas to discuss concerns on industrial sites at Westfield Center and Trenton, to share your concerns. I would suggest that at least a few of us, I'm definitely going, go to that meeting and address the letter. If you read the attachments of his letter back to us, what the EPA is relying on are all results from what Arkema found. They are not any independent studies, they are strictly using Arkema's findings. If you didn't read that, I would strongly suggest you go back and take a look. Everything that they are stating is all of Arkema's findings. So I would suggest that since they refused, we go and have a conversation with the state reps that are going to be there. So.
And that's August 15th,
August
7
15th
p.m.
at 7 p.m.
At Westfield Center in Trenton.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Oh, wait.
No, that's it.
Okay.
Well, I got one other thing, but it's just for discussion.
Your Honor, you know my concern about that and the fact that I've made it clear I'd like our residents to know it's safe. Is it appropriate for us to do a resolution and present it to her there as a council?
Oh, that's good.
I
don't think we can do it by
Pentak,
then.
is that out of line?
No, sir, it's not out of line.
Can we do
I
that in
would-
time?
I would like to propose that, to be honest with you.
I think that's a great idea. We only have 3 days, but
Yeah.
if possible.
We'll make it happen.
And the last thing I have to bring up, this past week, Dave Robbins gave a senior resident a hand clearing some, basically taking care of some yard work that she needed done. It was quite a bit of work that he did. And this is just for conversation, mainly because I don't know. I'm thinking about, and would it be appropriate, start a committee that would solely deal with senior residents who need help. You know, they could contact us, say, hey, look, this is what I need. I'll chair that committee, I have no problem going to do the work myself. It just gives the residents an avenue to reach out and say, hey, look, I need help. In this case, it was an 86-year-old woman who'd lost her husband, and there was no way she was gonna be able to do that work. And with her being on a fixed income, there was no way that she was gonna be able to pay someone to do it. So, I was thinking, and again, this is just for discussion, I don't even know if it's appropriate, but Gabriel Richard requires 12 hours of community service done by all their students. I know the National Honor Society requires hours of community service. That's something that we would have to get with the schools about. But I don't care if it's a one-man committee, I'm willing to do it. Just give the residents, especially our senior residents, an avenue. If they need help, reach out, we can go take a look and possibly provide assistance.
I love that idea.
Thank you.
I think it's a great idea. My concern would be, now we have, because I know what'll happen, the requests will start pouring in.
Yeah.
There is already the Guidance Center, Senior Alliance, Wayne Metro, and there's a myriad of agencies set up to
Really?
handle that.
All right, but I mean.
No, but I mean, I don't want to say it's a bad idea. I mean, if you want to discuss it, maybe if you want to do something at this level to coordinate, to, when you get a call in or whatever it is, that you can provide them with that information.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is just education. Most people just don't know
Yeah,
that exists.
Yeah.
So my concern would be, you get a call and you say, okay, we'll put a couple of people together. Now you're representatives of the city cleaning up people's property on a regular basis, and you guys, as David did, was very
I'm willing to
commendable.
donate as
but-
much of Dave's time as I possibly can.
I get it. So, but there are risks with that. So, I mean, just, as long as there's no risk on behalf of the city, I mean, as, Randy, can you help me here? I'm concerned of that now we're providing services to the city, and it'll become overwhelming. I've been in this world a long time.
Yeah.
There's a couple of concerns. I think I've heard other programs like that. There's obviously, we need to vet whoever the participants are to make sure they're not offenders. And we also need to think about liability if something goes amiss. Those are things that are manageable.
Yeah.
Risk management questions that we can deal with that, but the mayor made a comment that I'd forgotten about the Senior Alliance. And don't we provide a level of financial support to them?
We do. We make actually about a $4,000 donation per year to them, and they provide about $70,000 worth of services.
Well,
Yeah.
to that end,
Yeah.
Mayor, I was thinking about, could we invite them to
We
the
actually
next
could.
study session and maybe have them explain what they do and what others do, so that we don't duplicate the effort, and what we do can kind of wrap around the gaps that they don't fill, so maybe that's.
No, that's a great idea.
Way to go.
Yeah. It's a good idea.
The only thing I want to say on that is, well, she was wonderful, and I
Yeah.
had actually met her before, didn't know it at the time, and Dave is embellishing my amount of help on that. I want to say him and
You did it
his
all.
wonderful girlfriend went out there and started ahead of time, and I just lend a hand. But I definitely can see where you're coming from with that. She just, certain things she couldn't do. And she was like, whatever you want to do. If you want to take it out, take it out. Like, she just didn't want to be in violation. She was worried about being in violation with
Yeah.
the city. That was her main concern. The trees had gotten higher over the
Enormous.
fence. Yeah, so it's something she couldn't manage. So I have also ran into people in the past that you give an inch and,
Yeah.
like,
Yes.
some normal day-to-day maintenance, I don't know that we could even, like, do
Yeah.
something like that, but that was an extreme circumstance, and I think that she was more than wonderful about
Yeah,
it. And
absolutely.
I would do it again in a heartbeat.
And I think maybe if we do find sending people to the Senior Alliance as the primary source, and then we do, oh my gosh, I just need help today really quick.
Yeah.
They can't help me for 2 weeks, I can run over and help you with that. I've got a how old is 14, 15-year-old son? He just had a birthday. And, he's 6 foot tall and 200 pounds. He can lift that for you and
Yeah.
carry it. He can, mow your lawn real quick while it's broken, whatever. But maybe we can be that buffer in between if there's
Yeah,
an
no, that's
emergency.
But I guess my whole point is we don't want to recreate the wheel.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's several like, and I just another one I thought was the information center. You can always start there, and they can give you numbers of other places.
I mean, this is already a service that they help provide. I mean,
Well,
something as simple
but
as,
Here's my guess is, they don't provide the service. You know, I mean, none of these aren't gonna come out and cut your grass. They're not gonna come out and trim your bushes. They can recommend you to somebody, or maybe there's some other organization that does that.
yeah.
But it's just a trap that, you know, I really don't wanna get.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to discuss
But we
it.
can start with the senior alliance, have them come and explain what's
Okay.
going on.
Maybe get advice from them on how to go on this,
Yeah.
go forward.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Another thought was, you know, I think I heard code enforcement may have had
Mm.
an involvement with this person. Maybe when we get educated, maybe our code people need to be aware of what resources are, so that instead of being heavy-handed, maybe they are a resource and
Uh-huh.
pass things along and give people opportunities to fix things. And I do know that there are ministries around that also step
Mhm.
in on an ad hoc, as-needed basis
Yeah,
in extreme situations.
but they're not usually the first resource.
Right.
But they are a resource.
Yes.
People need
Put 'em
to
in
know
the
where
right
they can get them,
direction.
yeah.
Yeah. Give them the guidance.
And we just wanna, I just wanna be clear too, there was nothing issued to this particular woman. She just knew that it was starting to get.
Yeah.
And she wasn't used to that. They were always out there doing
Yeah, they-
things, and she just couldn't do it, so she kind of did the whole Facebook deal, and before a letter was issued, it was nothing.
Yeah, she did it the right way.
Yeah, she just
Yeah.
happened to say, hey,
I need help.
you know,
Yeah.
point me in the direction, yeah. So that was, you know, you get murky if you do it the other way, I think, too, but
I think that plays a part of it. It's, I worry
she just
that-
wanted to do the right thing.
Yeah, I was just worried that what if that post wouldn't have been seen that day, you know?
Yeah.
It was one of those things where just got lucky, saw it, took action. I feel for a lot of seniors who don't have Facebook or, you know, don't make those moves, so. That's it for me.
Anybody else?
Your Honor, I just want to say thank you to Chief Lammers for all of his years of duty, and congratulations on becoming a grandpa.
Cool. All right,
Mayor?
go ahead.
Now that we're through the budgeting season, I wanted to revisit an item that I brought up a few times about the priority-based budgeting, and get the group's input about bringing in Resource X, Mr. Fabian, who did two wonderful presentations that I attended through the Michigan Municipal League. I found value in that presentation, as well as see there's some opportunities for using that AI-based software to, you know, improve our budgeting.
Mhm.
So I know I recently brought it forward last week, so I just wanted to find out if there's an opportunity in an upcoming study session, if anybody else is interested as a group, if we could do that.
I'm interested. I meant to go back and watch it, I did.
Mhm.
Will you resend me that link? It's like to watch Stoner about it, because I completely forgot about that.
Okay.
Thank you for the reminder.
Anybody else? So, is there a cost to this? I mean, or it's
Not to
just.
have them come in
Not
for
to
a
have them come out?
presentation, no.
Okay. Well, I don't think it would hurt anything to have them come out, at least give us a presentation.
Do they have someone for us to contact? And they just come out and present what they do and,
Yes. I can
Okay.
Provide again Mr. Fabian's contact information
okay.
Mm-hmm.
and arrange, have Jeff arrange something for him to attend here.
So, next study session?
Yeah, well, I mean, it all depends on his time. Mr.
Okay,
Fabian's-
well, they're available, if not, the next one. Okay. Anybody else?
I just wanted to finish then. The second item is, as I know, I've been sharing some ideas about the sale of the properties at Grange and the Silly Road properties, and wanted to find a way to bring this forward into maybe a motion to have Jeff and his staff look into the top three, or first three items that we need to investigate, such as realistic sales price. We know what it's appraised for now. We have the appraisals for the wetlands, so we need to figure out what we can do to mitigate the wetlands. And then lastly, what type of tax revenue, property tax revenue we could generate from both of those properties.
Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Mitigation of the wetlands, I signed an agreement with Eagle to come out and look at the wetlands to see exactly what kind of wetlands they are, because there's a different rating in wetlands. I don't know, I'm not a wetlands expert, but this person is, and he'll rate the wetlands. He'll actually walk the property and kind of revisit the wetlands. Some, as you know, have to be traded 3 for 1, 3 acres for each one. Some have to be traded 2 to 1, and some are 1 to 1. So if he comes in there and he values the wetlands and what they mean, we'll get a better understanding of how many wetlands we really have to remediate based on the wetlands appraisal and now Eagle's expertise of validating that. Because that's a big thing, because you've got to either buy wetlands out of a bank and spend some money on it, or you've got to remediate it somewhere else. And I did look into, and Jennifer's here, we did look into possibly remediating some of that in the landfill area, but there's a bunch there already that are restrictive that we can't. The other areas there, we're going to potentially need the dirt, so we can't give that away when dirt is $10 a ton that we'll need for final cover. So we'll look into that and we'll see what he says. Dave, did we get a date when he's coming out?
I don't have a response. I just got back today and they looked at that and I got to get back with them.
Okay, because I know I signed the
You
agreement.
sign, I put your name on there as
Yep.
as the person.
So he'll probably reach out to you since you kind of
Yeah,
taking
you gotta
care
get
of
a
it.
response back.
Yep,
I gotta
okay.
get back with them.
And then as far as, of course, the property tax revenue, it depends on what's put there, right? If it's residential, it's A. If it's residential and mixed use, it's B. If it's residential retail, and mixed, so it just depends. And I don't know what's gonna go there because we don't know who's gonna bid on it, right? Because we're gonna ask them to put their plan, if they're to purchase, what is it that you plan on developing?
Right.
We didn't want to just put residential on it, we didn't want to just put light industrial, we didn't want to just put retail. We want a developer to tell us what they're going to do, and then you can decide if that fits what you want them to do there, so.
I think the proposal was for mixed use, and I think we used a springboard was the Civic Park Drive sub plan, which had approximately 700 townhomes. And we're able through the assessor to get a general idea of what those type of townhomes would bring. I think the next step would be then is if you add in mixed use into that type of development with retail, restaurants, some commercial areas, what type of potential increase that could have to the property.
I don't know, how we would do that except for laying the footprint out, because how much of this would be this and how much of that would be that. We'd have to almost have somebody do that,
Well,
right?
then maybe we can simplify it and look at how much more a mixed-use type of
Yeah, I know you
property would
mentioned-
bring compared to just a standard stacked townhome.
Yeah, I know you mentioned 9 times the value, but Eric didn't seem to
Well-
agree with 9 times the regular
I
residential.
said it can be up to 9, and I
Yeah.
said it depends on how many levels it's stacked.
Yeah.
So
And what is our ordinance right now, 3 high? Is that what, you can only build 3 levels now, Dave?
It would depend on the district that you get. Right now it's public, semi-public, so we'd have to change the district. And we went to a 4th Street district, we could probably go 4.
Okay,
I wouldn't recommend 4, but we could go 4.
okay. Yeah, and again, that just has to, I'll need some help with that because I'm not a developer and I'll have to find some resource to help me with that. Eric's I'm not saying from the tax side of it, Eric's a very good assessor, so, as you know. He'll help me with that, and maybe I'll have to get with Dave and somebody that can help me pencil that parcel out.
I think it'd be feasible just to take mixed-use developments in the surrounding communities, and maybe he could come up with a factor of what those type of properties have
Well,
over, residential.
I mean, we have other properties that are mixed use, so I mean, we could
Correct.
kind of take that. but-
Towers, you have the Trenton Tower.
Yeah, but how, how much of that? And we're gonna, is residential
Yeah,
gonna be 10% or 20%? Is retail gonna be 40%? You could play around with that matrix, but at the end of the day, we can, we'll figure something out.
I guess the point of this is to get an idea and an assessment for all of us to gauge whether we wanted to move forward with putting that out for sale, because the Sibley property went out, the Grange Road property went out for bid, right, for about 6 weeks. We didn't get any bids because it was all wetlands, but, perhaps if the price is reduced, or if we have another way of marketing, or, DCC now has the intake forms, maybe they can help us market it. So I think there are new opportunities that we didn't have previously.
Yeah.
We need to have our plan together before we start marketing.
Okay, yeah. I mean, the only interest we got was, the dollar, because they're gonna just take the land and develop it, and we're gonna win on the taxes, but I think everybody agrees that.
Wasn't part of that, and I don't know what that plan was and
No.
who made that assessment. so-
Right. Well, I'm just telling you, a couple developers, I think it was 2 of them came in with $1 at value.
Okay.
We'll give you $1, we'll develop it, and you can tax
As I
it.
stated in my message, 3.2 million is what it appraised at, and I think it's fair market somewhere between, not, I said $1, but on the low end, $1, and then 3.2 million, but the opportunities of selling at 3.2 million are pretty slim, since it's 90% plus wetlands, and we don't know how to mitigate it.
Yeah.
So that's
Well-
the other important part, is finding out how to mitigate it, and how much actual wetlands there are, and what type of wetlands.
Correct. And we're gonna find that out very soon, with Eagle coming in and walking the property.
Okay.
So for that part will be answered pretty quickly, I would imagine.
So my final question would be is, how do we as a body then, are we interested in directing Jeff's and the staff's activities towards these 3 tasks, or is it?
Well,
Not
some of
anyway,
those the taxes won't be a problem with Eric, because he's already under contract. We may incur some additional fees for some professionals to give us how that's broken down, and, kind of like a developer, to
Right.
kind of educate us on how it would be developed, so we'd have to come back. I'd work with Dave on coming back with somebody that would help us, whatever those fees are, to help us come up with a potential rendering or whatever, a floor plan of what could fit there and how you would do it and that kind of thing on the 38 acres. We'd have to do that, because I can't do that, Dave can't do that. I know we can fill some of the blanks in, but from the standpoint of giving you accurate information, I wouldn't want to try to do that as a CPA. I'd want to get a developer to help me. And I think there's people out there, right, Dave, that can help you with something like that? Yeah, I thought so. So that's what we would do. Get Eric to do the tax part of it with us, and then get a developer to kind of say, hey, on this 38 acres, based on the Sibley Road, you could do this, that, after the wetlands come back. But the wetland should not be more than 60 days, right? You think you get it done in 60 days, wouldn't you? Eagle?
Yeah, once we get them here.
No, do you think we'll get them here in 60 days?
Oh, yeah, we should. I'm gonna email them. when we get
Okay,
here.
so maybe let's start with that, and then once we get that, then we move forward with a development plan, a raw development plan.
So you can take that as direction from council, that that's the avenue you're going to pursue?
Yes, I'm going to pursue that with Eagle first, and then I'll bring that information back, and then we'll go from there. And then I'll find somebody that can help me with the potential development layout, and then I'd bring that back and say, hey, I think we can get it done for X.
You need the options first before you can.
Yes. Yep. But let's bring Eagle first. That would be, I know within 60 days, Eagle. So Hal, what do you think?
It should be here soon.
Yeah. So Ohio kind of recommended us to him. So Ohio recommended him to us. That's how we found this expert, was through Sohail, because he's worked different engineering wetland projects for different communities. And he's good, right, Sohail? I mean,
Yes.
he's going to tell us right how it is. There's a small fee, I think it was a $1,000 fee that I signed, so that we could get that good information. Which, Sohail, every developer in the world would want to know that, right?
You have to know that.
I mean, the Eagle stuff, not just what a
We've used them before in Flat Rock, even here in Riverview on the Grangewood property. Looked at it and gave us his opinion, so.
So we have been moving, I mean, you didn't know this, but we have been moving the needle. It's not, we're sitting on our hands.
Never said you were. I know we've
No, no,
been
I just
keeping in
wanted-
touch, so.
Yeah, but you didn't know that, so it's unfair that you didn't know that, but I was waiting for him to come out before I was gonna share that with you. Not that I had him lined up.
Anything else? Now time for public comment? Mr. Kyman? Okay, we're adjourned. Thank you, everybody.